495, emergency.
495, go ahead.
81st and Blackstone, we got a person shot. It's an off-duty PO. Get an ambulance here now.
495, 10-1.
10-1, it's an off-duty PO.
All right, units in 4 and Citywide. We got a 10-1, 10-1, 8-1, and Blackstone, 81st and Blackstone. We got an off-duty officer shot. Off-duty shot. 8-1 and Blackstone, 10-1.
443, sure, let's go.
All right, guys, just go. Keep the air clear. Guys, keep the air clear. 495, you have the air.
Squad, it's not looking good. Get an ambulance here now.
We got it going.
During the pandemic, the black femicide rate drastically increased. A little under every 5 hours a day, a black woman or black girl is killed, typically by a black man. This is the story of Areanah Preston. Areanah was a smart, lovely, energetic, and hardworking young lady. From middle school to high school, she demonstrated the ability to manage her grades while being a dynamic cheerleader. She graduated from UIC College Prep in Chicago in 2016. It was around this time that she developed an interest in the criminal justice field. According to Areanah's Facebook page, she graduated from Illinois State University in 2019 with a bachelor's in criminology and criminal justice system. She was dissatisfied with the status quo and was ready to reform it. Preston's goal was to build trust between law enforcement and underrepresented communities. She was quoted as saying that in the Illinois State write-up, after she and others visited several Holocaust sites that included Germany and Poland during an overseas college visit in 2019. That trip, which Preston defined as finding voices for those who didn't have a voice, motivated her to join the Chicago Police Department. That same year, she began her master's program at Loyola University in Chicago, studying child and family law. Areanah's mother, Dion Mahone, said she was shocked and surprised after learning of her daughter's career plans. Areanah wanted to be a part of the FBI. She thought she would have a better chance of getting in with her experience as a cop. She completed her master's program within 3 years. Shortly afterwards, she learned she was accepted into the FBI program. At the short age of 24, all of her career goals and dreams were coming to fruition. Sadly, on May 6, 2023, 1 week to the day before graduating, Areanah was murdered by members of the same community that she tried to build trust with.
The 24-year-old female officer had just left work when she was shot to death early this morning in the Avalon Park neighborhood. Fox 32's Nate Rogers has been following this tragic story all day. It is here with the latest. Nate?
A devastating, heartbreaking tragedy indeed. Right now, Mayor Lightfoot says the family is requesting privacy at this time. Chicago police not releasing a lot of details or specifics just yet. We do know that detectives are working to learn if the victim was targeted or if this was a random robbery. Loved ones grief-stricken and heartbroken outside UFC Hospital. One of Chicago's bravest killed right in front of her own home.
81st and Blackstone, we got a person shot. It's an off-duty PO. Get an ambulance here now.
Police responded to a shot spotter alert. Multiple gunshots were heard. 24-year-old Areanah Preston was found laying in the front yard. Sources say her service weapon and badge were missing.
The officer picked our officer up, put him in the back of a squad car, and immediately brought to University of Chicago Hospital, where she succumbed to her wounds early this morning.
It happened here at 81st and Blackstone just before 1:45 a.m. Interim Police Superintendent Eric Carter says Preston had just finished her work shift.
Right now, we ask that you keep the officer and her family in your prayers.
Preston worked for the department for 3 years. Loyola University confirming she was on track to graduate May 13th with a master's of jurisprudence from the School of Law. Mayor Lightfoot speaking with family members earlier in the day, saying their lives are shattered.
When I got the call this morning, I wasn't just a mayor. I was a mom. And thinking about what the parents of this young officer would be feeling today.
Dozens of Chicago police joined the processional as Preston's body was taken from UFC to the medical examiner's office.
Several witnesses came forward to give an account of what they heard and saw that morning. One of them had a surveillance video. According to the prosecutor, Areanah turns off the lights to her own car and crosses South Blackstone Avenue when a dark car pulls up and stops. At least one person jumps out, opens fire at Preston, who then returns fire. Preston was shot both in the face and in the neck. Her colleagues rushed her to the hospital, where she was later pronounced dead. Hours afterwards, investigators said the 4 suspects torched the stolen car, sold Officer Preston's gun, and the youngest of the 4 called a friend to brag about what they had done. According to court documents, Buchanan's girlfriend wanted money for a barbecue, which is what led to the crime spree. Hours after Preston was killed, the 16-year-old suspect, Jaylen Fraizer, allegedly confessed his involvement to a friend. He asked the friend if he had seen Preston's murder on the news and claimed that was his work. He then said they were out robbing people when they saw a single female in her car. They were going to rob her, but the female shot at them, and then one of the guys he was with shot back. After hearing this, the 16-year-old went to the police. With detectives listening in, the friend called Jaylen back on speakerphone. On that call, he made additional admissions to the robbery and shooting, including details that were not released to the public. The following Monday, in a call with his mom, Jaylen admitted to participating in the robberies and being present for the murder. He told his mom that they sold Preston's gun and that Brooks, who was one of the suspects, allegedly admitted that Preston reached for her gun, but he shot first and then shot a number of rounds at her. Due to great detective work and community cooperation, all 4 suspects were arrested within 48 hours. They are presently being held without bond. If convicted for the murder of Officer Preston, they will face life behind bars without the possibility of parole. While this may not bring Areanah back, I hope the family knows that there are people in the community that valued and cared about Areanah and wanted to see her get justice. From the person who turned Jaylen Fraizer in to the neighbor who provided the surveillance footage, Areanah was valued and loved and will be missed.
She will always be a member of this Loyola class of 2023 and a member of our worldwide alumni community.
On Tuesday, May 16th, family, friends, and co-workers came together to pay their final respects to Officer Areanah Preston.
Confident, determined, brave, smart, outgoing, beautiful, witty, loyal, generous, genuine, quaint, attentive, funny, giving, youthful, fashionable, unforgettable, and the ray of light. A few words to describe my baby, yet there will never be enough to define just how much of a sunflower Areanah Michaela Preston truly was to us as parents and family. And now the world. I may not know much about politics, forensic sciences, or the court systems, but there are a few things I do know about. I know what it means to have a heartbroken family. I know the sounds of my daughter's scream for their sister. I know the prayers of my husband and the tears he holds in his eyes. I know the feeling of a grandfather opening an envelope that was supposed to be mailed for graduation, and instead he's here for a funeral. I know the sound of her brother being, her uncle being nothing but silent through it all, but praying. I know the sounds of her cousins going in the other rooms, open the doors so we don't see them cry. I know what it means as a parent to always be the driving force to your children and other children that I have poured into. However, my heart as a mother is heavy. As a mother with faith, I know for sure better days are coming ahead. And better days are coming ahead because I gave my baby everything I had and then some. I was determined to invest in her so that in return she invested in the world. And Areanah did just that. She did more than I can even imagine. When people say you did an awesome job as a mother, that speaks volumes to me. It is so heartwarming to see just the impact she had on the city of Chicago and beyond. She was a kid full of life, dreams, big goals, and wanted to make major changes. In this tragic situation, my family and I feel triumph. We feel grace, we feel the love, we feel the hugs, and most importantly, we feel God's presence over us. There is a presence of Areanah's spirit saying, "Keep going, mama. You always wanted to be like me." If you didn't already know, the example that she set for so many simply encouraged them to be like Areanah. I will, my sweet baby, plan to lead. Really, I plan to lead. Love and be just like you, brave and bold with warm spirit and a contagious smile. Death is only a tragic thing if you have not lived. My baby lived. I am because of her. I pray for peace in homes. I pray for peace in our communities. And I pray for peace in my heart. Rest peacefully, my sweet baby. Mama has it from here. Okay, I got you.
Oh, God. So, I just have a few words to Nani. For me and Mike. We've been trying to find the right words to express our emotions, but it has been hard. Knowing you your whole life and seeing how many people you've touched in so many ways or another speaks volumes. Volumes on how welcoming and endearing you've been with so many people. I remember telling Mommy yesterday it was funny how so many people loved and cared for you, but you would come home to us and argue over where your favorite makeup brush was. Aside from the arguments we had even more fun times. Like when Maya had a summer party a few months ago and all you did was dance and tell silly jokes. The last conversation we had, I posted your graduation pictures and you told me you loved me. I told you to tell the world. My exact words were, don't tell me, tell them. So here I am telling everyone that we love you, Nani. And you're an amazing big sister and best friend. You have set an incredible example for us. Thank you for choosing Maya and I. Thank you.
May is the month of celebrations, especially when you're a student. Most people graduate in May. So to learn that this young 24-year-old woman who was 1 week short of graduating with her master's degree, along with being accepted into the FBI program, as well as knowing that once you get your master's degree and acquire a certain level of experience, that typically includes a pay raise, to know that this young woman had done all of this to better herself and then to be murdered. This was difficult to hear, and this story was difficult to do, but I think everybody needs to know the story of Areanah Preston. She didn't deserve this. Most Black women see the issues in our community and they put on the cape and they want to help. But her story is an example of why we have to drop that cape and understand that there are people within our community that prey upon us. And most of the time, those are Black males. Rest in power, Areanah Preston. We will get you justice.